Hey, what's up everybody? I'm back with a new build, and this build has been highly asked about on Twitch. Everybody's been asking me, do you got a build video for this one? And I'm tired of saying no. So here we go. We're going to get a build video out, and I'm calling this one the Guardian of Extermination. And this one has done great in open world PvP, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly, and I can't wait to get into it, show you guys everything this build is packing, and everything that you're going to need to put this build together yourself. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one. It's got a lot of versatility. I'm talking, I get up to 7.4k weapon and spell damage, sometimes 8k. Got continuous up with upwards of 15, 16, 17,000 pen, over 30k resistances on the back bar, tons of damage reduction, 42% crit chance, 86% crit damage. This thing hits like a truck, and I'm going to get into it and teach you guys how to play this build and what you need to play this build as well. Before we get over to the superstar and get more into the build, do me a huge favor, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much. Let's get right into this build. All right, guys, so we're going to start off with the attributes. What we got here is 24 into mag. This is a decent mag pool. 15 into health. Very solid health pool. You always want at least over 30k. It helps a lot with the survivability in open world. And then we got 25 into stam. That gives us over 20k stam, and that is solid. That's exactly, it's kind of what you're looking for, especially if you know, you're out in the open world. Either stam over 20k or mag over 20k, but you never want them to fall too much short from 20k. And we're rocking the Lover Mundus. It gives us that extra penetration. Stage 3 vampire on this one as well. We got an Imperial. Imperial is probably the best race to be with subclassing. But now let's get into the skill lines, guys. All right, to start us off, this is a Templar base. So here we have Restoring Light, and here we got Mending. Increases your healing done by up to 13% in proportion to the severity of the target's wounds. Then we got Sacred Ground. While standing in your own cleansing ritual, rune focus, or rite of passage area effects, and for up to 4 seconds after leaving them, you gain minor mending, increasing your healing done by 8%. Also increases the amount of damage you can block by 10%. Lightweaver. When you heal an ally under 50% health with a Restoring Light ability, you grant them 2 ultimate. Activating the ability with a cast or channel time while in combat causes you to automatically block all attacks at no cost for 2 seconds, up to once every 15 seconds. Then we have Master Ritualist. Increases resurrection speed by 20%. Resurrected allies return with 100% more health. Then we have Assassination. Increases your critical chance rating against enemies you're flanking by 1,448, increasing your chance to critically strike by 6.6%. When an enemy dies within 2 seconds of being damaged by you, you restore 1,000 mag and stamina. Pressure points. Increases your critical chance rating by 548 for each assassination ability slotted, increasing your chance to critically strike by 2.5% per ability. Hemorrhage increases your critical damage by 10%. Dealing critical damage grants you and your group minor savagery, increasing your weapon critical rating by 1,314 for 20 seconds. And then we have Animal Companion. Bond with nature. Anytime one of your animal companion skills end, you are healed for 1,561 health. Savage Beast. When you cast an animal companion's ability while you are in combat, you generate 4 ultimate. This effect can occur once every 8 seconds. Flourish increases your mag and stam recovery by 20%. Advanced Species increases your critical damage by 5% for each animal companion ability slotted. All right, guys, let's get back to the superstar and check out the gear we're rocking. So this is the gear that we got on, guys. Check this out here. We're going to be rocking 3 heavy, 3 medium, and 1 light. This is what I like to do. Everything's going to be prismatic. I always go everything prismatic. We got 3 reinforced and a couple in pen and a couple divines on the bodied gear because we're rocking Torque of the Last Alien King. I like to get divines in there because we have so much damage reduction that if we can get some divines on, it'll give us a little bit of a boost to our Mundus Stone, which is very helpful. So on our jewelry, we're going to be rocking infused weapon and spell damage with a little bit of mag recovery. And on this one here, we're going to have protective with weapon and spell with mag recovery. And then on the Torque of the Alien King, we're going to do infused weapon and spell with mag recovery. And that's going to really boost our damage as well as a little bit of that mag recovery. It's really nice to have. Plus the protective is great for the little bit of defensive. And then our weapons are going to be maces. We're going to have Nirnhoned, charged. And on the back bar, we got our Ice Staff. We got to increase our weapon and spell damage by 348 for 5 seconds. And we got Defending as well to get a little bit extra defensiveness on that back bar. And now let's go over our CP so we can really show you the back ends of this build. All right, for the CP, we got Master at Arms. gives us that 6% increase to our direct damage. Got duelist rebuff, and that reduces your damage taken by single target attacks by 6%. And then we have untamed aggression, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 150. And then we have resilience that gives us 660 critical resistance. We use sustained by suffering, gives us 150 health, mag, and stam recovery while we are under the effects of negative effects. And then we have survival instincts. While we are afflicted by status effects, our core combat abilities cost 25% less. And we're rocking fortified, 1,731 more armor. And we have Pain's Refuge, reducing your damage taken by 2% for every 2 negative effects active on you, up to a maximum of 20% damage reduction. And that CP is very helpful with the Torque of the Last Alien King. You could try to get rid of Fortified and put on Relentlessness, or instead of Relentlessness, if you want to try to get Celerity on there, you can also try to get Celerity on there. But I really think with how subclassing is right now and how heavy the damage coming through is, having that extra armor at all times is very helpful with this build, especially with all the damage reduction that we already have. As you guys have already seen, we are a stage 3 vampire with Torque of the Last Alien King, and a little sneak peek into the skills, we also have 8% damage reduction on our contingency. And speaking of contingency, let's get into our abilities here. We've got Merciless Resolve, Concealed Weapon, Deep Fissure, Bird of Prey, Contingency, Dawnbreaker of Smiting, Extended Ritual, Resolving Vigor, Blue Betty, Channeled Focus, Honor of the Dead, and Temporal Guard. Alright, so now let's get a little bit more in depth with the abilities here. So Merciless Resolve, what I like to do with Merciless Resolve is I like to get the 10 stacks before I go in for the burst damage combo, because that gives me an extra 300 weapon and spell damage, and it gives me 2 big hits in the back end just in case I need to finish somebody off. Concealed Weapon, because it's got a hefty tooltip on there. I know at the end of the day, surprise attack has potential to be better, but I'm going to go ahead and say if I had to swap one ring to a swift, still keep it protective, and then change fortified over to celerity, I'd probably need another protective just because of how intense the damage is out there. So really at the end of the day, is that extra 100 weapon and spell damage plus the sunder, all that other stuff, really going to be worth it? When this thing has a crazy tooltip, it gives me the minor expedition that I'm looking for, so I can get that speed out in the open world. That speed boost means a lot in the open world. Deep Fissure, massive tooltip on the first and second shulks. Then on top of that, it also gives you major and minor breach. All right, now let's get over to Bird of Prey. The reason why I'm using Bird of Prey is because you gain minor berserk at all times on the bar you have it on. Shocking Contingency, we went with shock damage, reduced damage taken by 8% for 8 seconds. And then we have Major Savagery and Prophecy, 12 seconds. Dawnbreaker, this thing is massive for our combo. What we do is we hit shulks, do a couple surprise attacks, hit the contingency. You can either go off of the first shulks. I like to try for the second one because that's big damage. Make sure you have your 10 stacks of Merciless Resolve. And right before that second shulks goes off, you hit your contingency, hit a Dawnbreaker, go for a Merciless Resolve. I promise you, almost anything will die. Extended Ritual, you combine this with the Betty Netch, all those dot builds out there, they're going to walk away from you in no time. Resolving Vigor, you get your minor resolve, you get a great heal over time. Blue Betty, mag regen, major brutality and sorcery. Every 5 seconds you get a cleanse. You can spam it for a cleanse too. It's fantastic. You also get 5% damage increase if there's nothing there to cleanse. Only 5 seconds, but you can make something happen in those 5 seconds. Channeled Focus gives you your major resolve, gives you a little bit of mag recovery. If you stand in it, it heals you a little bit every 1 second. Then you have Honor the Dead, massive heal from this thing, and it's a very reliable heal. Temporal Guard, we got our Orzorga's Smoked Bear Haunch on there as well. And that's the build, guys. I'm going to tell you what, I've been enjoying this build, and I hope you guys give it a try. If you don't have the Last Alien King, mix and match your own gear, see what you come up with. Let me know and tell me how much you're enjoying it. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoy this build video, make sure you drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. Signing off. Peace.